Yeah, I think something's happened. My PPT. Okay. Yeah. A little bit about me. It's important that people should know who's this person who's trying to give gyan. I'm not trying to give gyan. I'm trying to learn from all of you. So can people see the PPT?
No, your
Okay,
PPT has gone off screen.
Okay. One second. Let me then share screen. Something happened because I think because of the recording. 1 second, sorry. Yeah. Is it coming now, please? Is it coming now?
Yes, it's there. It'll be good if you can. Yes.
Yeah. I think is this okay? Is this
Yes,
okay
that's
now,
fine.
Sharma sir?
Yes, that's fine.
So I was born in Kanpur. Then my father was working in the public sector, so schooling, college, engineering from Ranchi, and then MBA from FMS Delhi, 1992, as Sharma Saab has mentioned. My professional journey, I can't see because of this, but I guess I hope you people can see. I began in Calcutta, Berger Paints, 1992, as a management trainee. For a 6 month stint, went to Tata's and then moved to Bharat Shell in 95 for a couple of years. So if some of you might recall, there was Burma Shell before nationalization in the 70s, and Rotella and Rimula lubricant brands, engine oil, mobile bikte the. Same Shell had come back in 94, 95. So I was in Bharat Shell selling lubricants again in Calcutta, 2 years there. I was lucky to get a break in Castrol, which has been the high street leader in lubricants, which has made it almost like a consumer product. Castrol, everybody knows. हमको ये नहीं पता रहता है गाड़ी में कौन सा engine oil है, but we know Castrol. So Castrol was good 5 years again in Calcutta sales. Then I moved into Reliance Industries Petroleum, which was downstream marketing when the downstream sector got opened in 2001. So private players like Reliance, SR, Shell started setting up petrol pumps in the country. So I was in Reliance. We began the service in the Eastern region, etc. That's a long story. Anytime anybody welcomes, so much of learning there. Speaking to the truck drivers, 3 baje सुबह 4 baje उठ के जब उनसे कितना हमने सीखा है. That was a good 5 years there. Then, unfortunately, the price of crude went through the roof in 2006-7. Lehman Brothers के समय करीब $180 barrel चला गया था. So every liter that we sold in the domestic market, we were incurring a loss because we were selling at the same price as the PSUs, like an Indian Oil, like a BPC, like an HPC, usame IBP bhi hota tha. So we were forced to shut down the petrol pumps in India, Reliance, Shell, SR, and we started exporting, and we were literally sitting doing nothing. But hats off to Reliance, nobody was asked to leave. We were all sitting doing nothing. I moved into Reliance Telecom for 1 year in Jamshedpur, learned the ropes in the telecom industry, which is extremely competitive. I mean, it was then, now there are barely 2-3 players. We had so many players then. And then since I was in Jamshedpur, I had two very young daughters, and they were in Calcutta. Was becoming difficult. The weekend trip was very difficult. I got a break in Samsung. I moved back to Calcutta, handling the Eastern region for their IT sales, the laptops and desktop monitors for assembled desktops. And then finally, I moved into HDFC Ergo General Insurance. That's when I moved to Bombay in August 2012. I just wanted to share this with you so that you people know, who's this person. Yeah. Now I'll move to the next slide. Yeah. So sales call. I mean, it sounds so simple, so easy, but I don't know how difficult it is. I'm still learning how to sell. So now let me request all of you, ask all of you, आपकी क्या सोच है? What do you think about a sales call? I'll stop sharing the screen right now. Yeah. So and I'll request people. We have gentlemen Abhay Patankar साहब हैं, नितिन चिकले साहब हैं, राघवेंद्र जी हैं, सत्यन शाह, जिनके चौधरी साहब हैं. I'll request all of you if you can. What do you think? What's a sales call? I mean, क्या है sales call है क्या? Anybody? And there's no right or wrong answer, please. This is not KBC. So I'll request any and everybody to please raise hands or just speak into the mic. Sudhir Shah साहब हैं. Anybody? It's an inquiry. Yes, it's an inquiry. Absolutely, Satyan Shahji, you're right, sir. It's an inquiry. Correct. What else? What else is a sales call? Connecting prospective buyers. Yes. Dr. Lagate, thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Yes. So let me actually write down in my diary. I'm not too good on the computer writing, but yes. So if I just write down here. Yeah. So first was, it's an inquiry connecting prospective buyers, right? Absolutely. Anybody else? And there's no right or wrong. What I'm going to tell you is nothing great. It's no rocket science. I'm going to tell you more or less the same things. It's a confirmation about an interest in your product. Right. We moved one step ahead in a sales call. It's a confirmation about interest in your product. Yes, absolutely. Anybody else, please? I'm waiting. We have enough time. हम आपको 7:15 7:30 के पहले नहीं छोड़ेंगे unless you want to exit if you get bored. So anybody else? So I think we all have answered it. When somebody said it's an inquiry, it's connecting prospective buyers, it's a confirmation about interest in your product. That's it. Sell our product or service. Deepak Kalathil Saab. Yes, you're right, sir. Sell our product or service. यही तो है. This is exactly. So we'll try to, it's an underlying expectation, underlining expectation. It's an underlining expectation. ठीक है. Absolutely. So yes, in the Indian context, and I will obviously talk in the Indian context because I have stayed in India, I have not stayed abroad. So Indian context में हम कैसे sales call करते हैं? Now in the last 2 years, we have learned to do sales calls. A conversation between a salesperson and a prospect about the purchase of a product or service. Absolutely, Hitesh Kumar Ruparelia ji. Absolutely, sir. Conversation. You're right. It's a conversation. Actually, you people are helping me. मेरे को PPT की शायद जरूरत भी नहीं पड़ेगी. But yes, you're right, Hitesh ji. It's a conversation. So in the Indian context, you see, virtual calls, I think across the world have begun now because of the pandemic when we were not allowed. It's a kind of need and introducing oneself to generate business. Madhav sir ne bola, introducing oneself to generate business. Absolutely. Introducing oneself to generate business. In fact, I'll request if you can speak up, it's building a relationship between a buyer and seller. Building a relationship between buyer and seller. Absolutely. And it'll be good if you want to speak up. It's good to hear a voice. लग रहा है मैं अकेले ही बोल रहा हूँ. So it's good to hear you. You're most welcome to speak into the mic.
If somebody wants to add or ask question, one can
Please.
unmute and ask.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir. So yes, I think you have covered more than possibly what I know because I am a single person. आप लोग इतने लोग मिलके obviously collectively I think we all can contribute. Let me try to come back to sharing of the screen, yeah, and let me share the this PPT again.
I think
so it's yeah. Sorry, sir. बताइए.
What Lakshmi wrote, building relationship.
Correct.
I think that's a very, very important point which she mentioned between buyer and seller. This is a very important to my mind. That's
Absolutely, sir. No, you are right, sir. No, sir, you are right. It is the key. निचोड़ सार जो भी बोले गीता यही है. बिल्कुल सही आपने बोला, sir. Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. So sales call. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is, I would have, had we been in a physical mode, we would have done some role plays on sales calls. But what I'll try to do is show here how अगर मैं field में जा रहा हूँ या मैं even virtual call पे जा रहा हूँ या जा रही हैं, whether a gentleman or a lady, you need to go on a sales call. It could be a cold call जो customer को आप जानते नहीं हैं. It could be a follow-up call जो customer के आप पहले जा चुके हैं या आपके कोई colleague पहले वाले जा चुके हैं. You have taken charge from your colleague, him or her. Correct? It could be either ways. So some basic things for a sales call, and surprisingly we forget it. I also forget it. सबसे पहला उसूल है, अगर हम कोई कस्टमर से मिलने जा रहे हैं, what is the first thing? Suppose I have got to go and meet a customer. What is the first thing in the physical activity which should happen? Anybody? And please speak up because now I'm not being able to see that. आप लोग बताइए.
A warm greeting, sir.
अब सर वार्म ग्रीटिंग तब होगी जब आप पहुंचेंगे उनके पास, राइट? यू आर एब्सोल्युटली राइट. आप बिल्कुल सही बोल रहे हैं. You're not wrong. Absolutely. It's a very very important point. एंड वार्म ग्रीटिंग के लिए हमें पहले कस्टमर के ऑफिस या कस्टमर के आई डोंट नो वेयर एवर, जहाँ कस्टमर एक कॉमन मीटिंग पॉइंट है, कभी कॉफी शॉप भी होती है, कभी मोस्टली कस्टमर का ऑफिस होता है. सो व्हाट इज द फर्स्ट थिंग विच वी शुड डू अगर हम कस्टमर से मिलने जा रहे हैं? उन्होंने मैं बोला भाई ठीक है, आप कल है आज जैसे 24 तारीख, आप 3 बजे आ जाना. So what's the first thing? Anybody please, and please speak up because मैं भी वो देख नहीं पा रहा हूँ. I am unable to see that, you know. सबसे पहले मैं क्या करना चाहिए?
Sir, take appointment.
Yes, you're right, sir. You're right. Absolutely. अपॉइंटमेंट हमने ले लिया. चलिए 3 बजे का अपॉइंटमेंट हमने दे दिया आपको. हमने बोला दीपक साहब आप कल 3 बजे आ जाना हमारे दफ्तर, ठीक है? तो सबसे पहले जब आप मिलने जा रहे हैं कस्टमर से, तो जब आप पहुंचेंगे सबसे पहली चीज है that we should reach
before time.
Absolutely. अजिंक्य जी, थैंक यू सो मच. ये आपको घड़ी का सिंबल दिख रहा है? ऑल ऑफ यू कैन सी दैट घड़ी का सिंबल, आई होप. कैन यू सी द रिस्ट वॉच?
Yes, we can see that.
Great. First thing first, it's always it is a no if I reach Bombay traffic, Delhi traffic. Sorry, let the customer make you wait. Customer is the king, customer boss है, वो राजा है. He can make you wait for 1 hour, but we as a seller, मैं late नहीं हो सकता हूँ. उन्होंने 3 बजे बोला है, I should be there 10 to 15 minutes before time. Why should we be there before time? बताइए क्या फायदा हुआ? हम 15 मिनट वहां बैठ के झक मार रहे हैं. Sorry for my language, but why should we reach before time? That's a question. How does it help us? Reaching before time.
I think it's just to convey that I am interested, it's seriousness, my seriousness in the job.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely, Sharma sir. Absolutely. That's very, very important. It shows my keenness and interest. Ki bhai, I am very keen on this call and मैं समय के पहले पहुंचा हूं. It's a very strong indication. 1, 2, what else? Sharma sahab has put the context in place. आप पहले पहुंच गए, आप 3 बजे के बजाय आप 2:45, 3 बजने में 10 मिनट, 2:50 पे आप पहुंच गए. फिर अब आप पहुंचेंगे, आप क्या करेंगे? जस्ट थिंक अगर हम जाते हैं, हम पहुंचे, हमने फिर क्या किया? हम पहुंच गए, करेक्ट. हमने रिसेप्शनिस्ट को बोला ऐसा ऐसा है, मिस्टर सो एंड सो से या मिसेस सो एंड सो, जिनसे भी हमें मिलना है. नाउ यू हैव 10 मिनट्स विथ यू. ये 10 मिनट हम यूटिलाइज करते हैं. हाउ डू वी यूटिलाइज दिस 10 मिनट्स? एवरी मिनट काउंट्स. हम क्या करें 10 मिनट में? सबसे पहले विच आई वुड गो टू द वॉशरूम. क्यों भाई? ठीक से टर्न आउट तो हैं, जूते चमक तो रहे हैं. आई एम टेलिंग यू दीज स्मॉल थिंग्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. लगता नहीं है, बट इट मेक्स अ लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंस. या shoes should be shining, whether gentleman or lady. You should be properly turned out. Hair should be combed neatly. I mean, see, first impression is the last impression. We have to be well presented. हमें वो 5 मिनट मिल गए, वॉशरूम में गए. ये ऑल्सो हु नोज इन द वॉशरूम, क्या पता आपके जो जिनसे मिलने वाले हैं वही मुलाकात हो जाए, यू डोंट नो, या कुछ आपको बातें सुनने में आए. एंड कम बैक, टेक अ ब्रेथ, सांस लीजिए. Instead of reaching there at 2:59 or 3 o'clock and rushing, हाँ मेरे को मिलना है. You take your breath, get used to the surrounding. Literally जैसे बोलते हैं ना, उसको soak in करिए. You're more comfortable now. You're more prepared to do a better sales call. That's very, very important. And I have also missed so many times. And the moment you are behind time ना, पीछे हैं, तो आप already back foot पे खेल रहे हैं. Sorry, R Vasu has raised a hand. Vasu साहब प्लीज पूछिए ना प्लीज. हेलो वासु साहब, हेलो. Mr. R. Vasu, I think you have raised your hand, sir. Let me go on the chat. आपने कुछ पूछा है क्या? नहीं. Yes, Abhay Patankar ji ने बोला, you can understand more about the customer by just being in the office. 100%, sir. 100%. You're absolutely right, sir. Confirms my commitment. Yes. R. Vasu sahab, you had raised your hand, sir. Would you like to ask something? Would you like to give in some inputs, please? Anyways, so आप पहुंच गए, आप freshen up हो गए, you are easier now. Yeah, you just sit there, keep on observing, see that you have your laptop or a diary. Let me tell you, always carry a diary. Younger generation सब कुछ मोबाइल पे नोट करता है, which is very good, nothing wrong. मोबाइल स्विच ऑफ हो सकता है, डायरी कभी स्विच ऑफ नहीं होगी. So carry a diary and a pen. I think Sharma sir will agree, we are of that generation. हम अभी भी डायरी पेन पे लिखते हैं.
Absolutely.
I still carry my diary and my pen. वो कभी बंद नहीं होगी, उसमें बैटरी नहीं लगती है. ठीक है. So of course the new generation, and I respect you guys for that. The new generation है, mobile is faster. आपने फटाफट टाइप करके उसको ईमेल वगैरह जो कर दिया, right? But so see that everything is in place. आप सही हैं, and then at the appointed time, hopefully, you know, होता है, depend करता है. If the customer is good, वो आपको बिल्कुल समय पे अंदर बुलाएंगे या बुलाएंगी. Please come in for the meeting. और नहीं तो, I mean, I'm not saying the other customer is bad, but कभी कभी हो जाता है, you know, they are busy, कोई meeting overshoot हो गई, कोई call चल रही है, then you may have to wait. When you're waiting, you can very well utilize your time. कैसे? And we have done this, sir. And ma'am, वहाँ पे रिसेप्शनिस्ट से अगर आप थोड़ी बातचीत करें ना, आपको बहुत पता चलता है. आपको बहुत कुछ, रिसेप्शनिस्ट हो या सिक्योरिटी वहाँ जो हो बंदा या लेडी, whosoever, again. So talk to them. You will come to know. सर, बॉस जब ऑफिस से जा रहे होते हैं ना शाम को 6:30 बजे, रिलैक्स रहते, तब आप बात करिए. I'm telling you, these things work. So these are those small things we just keep on observing. And if you're aware of everything, then you can wait, you can do your routine work or whatever, catch up on your calls or catch up on some data, या आपको कुछ रिपोर्ट भेजनी है वगैरह वगैरह, और चेक कि भाई पिछली मीटिंग में क्या हुआ था, if there was a preceding meeting, उसमें क्या हुआ था, उसमें कुछ open points हैं, have we covered them, कवर किए नहीं किए, देख लीजिए. फर्स्ट कॉल है, if the first call is there, then very important, you should have read up on the customer. जितना भी, अब आप बोलेंगे सर कस्टमर के बारे में मेरे को ABCD नहीं पता, you are right. बट वो अकेला कस्टमर वो आपका प्रोडक्ट या सर्विस नहीं खरीदता है. There will be other customers in the market, right? Who will be buying? Ask other customers about this customer. You normally get leads by word of mouth. वो इंटरनेट पे टाइप कर दिया नहीं, आप जो कस्टमर आपका खुश है, सेटिस्फाइड है, उससे बोलिए सर मेरे को एक कस्टमर आप और दिलाइए सर. When you develop that kind of confidence and trust, you know, then वो होता है ना, सर ये तो अब मेरा ही है. So you can, सर मेरे को एक कस्टमर सर आपको दिलाना है, सर आप ही की बिल्डिंग में मिलेगा सर, या कहीं बताइए, आपकी कोई फ्रेंड है सर, बताइए मेरे को लीड दे दीजिए सर प्लीज, और रेफर कर दीजिए. Because it's very difficult otherwise to get into a customer on a cold call. But the moment that guy says, अच्छा ठीक है भाई रुको, मैं फोन लगाता हूँ उन्हें, अच्छा ठीक है भाई ये आएगा, ये बंदा आएगा, जरा देख लेना. You have got a foot in the door, right? So that's how you need to keep on generating leads all the time. The pipeline, the funnel has to flow all the time. नहीं तो अगर उतने ही कस्टमर्स में हम खेलते रहेंगे तो टारगेट नहीं होगा, बल्कि कंपटीशन खाती जाएगी. Keep on looking out for new customers all the time. You will need that database. We all will need that, right? Anyway, let me come back to this. Okay, तो हम पहुंच गए टाइम पे वगैरह वगैरह, कस्टमर ने अंदर बुलाया. Then I think the gentleman, I think Deepak ji ने सबसे पहले बोला था, warm handshake, look into the eye and smile. Yeah, a pleasant smile. It conveys your sincerity, your commitment, जैसे शर्मा साहब ने बोला, right? And give a warm smile and shake hands. अब COVID handshake सब चलता है, so we can always shake hands, or you can do a, you know, जो मुक्का बोलते, whatever, you can do that and have a pleasant smile. Now next is what do you call it? Wait till the customer asks you to be seated. Very important. जब तक कस्टमर नहीं बोले ये नहीं, and obviously we don't do that, but still, as a matter of courtesy, you wait till the customer asks you to be seated wherever you are, in a room, meeting room, wherever, and then of course we begin the conversation. So this is the person is groomed well. This is a warm handshake. And after this is when the meeting again, direct eye contact all the time. It shows you have the confidence. है कि नहीं है वो अलग बात है, because you may be meeting the CEO of a company and who may be an overly, very he or she may appear very, overbearing on you, but कोई बात नहीं, आप पोलाइट रहिए, उनको आंख में देखिए, नहीं पता है तो बोल दीजिए सॉरी मैम या सॉरी सर, नहीं पता है, नोट डाउन.
गुड इवनिंग, मेरा ना दांत का थोड़ा सा फिर प्रॉब्लम आ रहा है, जो आपने फिक्स किए थे ना, तो मैं 1-1.5 घंटे बाद आ जाऊं क्या?
Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Everybody mute other than speaker. Thank you.
So and keep on noting down in your diary or wherever. That again shows your commitment. यानी कि हाँ सर याद रहेगा. No, never do that. सर मेरे को याद रहेगा. Never. आपको याद रहे नहीं रहे, अगर मैं कस्टमर हूं मैं तो बोलूंगा यार ये झूठ बोल रहा है. Note down in the diary and reconfirm all the time. सर आपने यही बोला था. Have I understood you? या मैम this is what you said. Have I got you right? Because कई बार होता है कस्टमर सोच कुछ रहा है और बोल कुछ रहा है. There's something else in my mind. I have told something else. The person has noted that something else, but actually I meant what I was thinking in my mind. जो दिमाग में बात थी वो मैंने बोली नहीं, मैं कुछ और बोल गया. Reconfirm करिए हर बार, right? Very important. Customer को कभी interject, कभी customer may be wrong, but remember, go back to rule number 1. Customer is always right. जहां कोई कस्टमर को इंटरजेक्ट करता है ना, क्या होता है, सबसे पहले मेरे ईगो को हर्ट होता है. मैं ये मेरे को कौन सिखाने वाला है, हु इज दिस पर्सन, ये अपने को क्या समझता है, मेरे बिजनेस के बारे में मेरे को समझा रहा है. नेवर इंटरजेक्ट, नेवर स्टॉप. सर 1 मिनट, सर नहीं, नो सर, नेवर, नो, हाउएवर, बट, ये वर्ड्स नहीं यूज करने का, राइट. ऑलवेज लिसन टू द कस्टमर. सो एज सेल्स पर्सन हम क्या होते हैं, हम सिर्फ बोलते हैं, हमें बस बोलना आता है, ठीक है, बस बोलते ही रह जाते हैं. वी आर अनेबल टू लिसन. सो हमने पूरा सब अपने बारे में बता दिया, कस्टमर ने बोला हमें तो ये चाहिए ही नहीं था. आधे पौने घंटे की मीटिंग हो गई, कस्टमर सेज बट आई वाज नॉट इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस, एंड देन यू आर शॉक्ड, बट आपने बताया नहीं, कस्टमर से आपने हमें बताने का चांस ही नहीं दिया. So while you, so normally the agenda would be set by the customer. If the customer is open, you can set the agenda कि sir with your permission या ma'am with your permission, ऐसे ऐसे करके ये टीम हम इंट्रोड्यूस करेंगे, जो भी फर्स्ट कॉल है कंपनी, एंड देन ये हमारे प्रोडक्ट्स एंड सर्विसेज हम ओवर द नेक्स्ट 10-15 मिनट्स ऑलवेज कीप ऑन सेटिंग टाइम, हम आपको इसके बारे में बताएंगे, एंड प्लीज कीप ऑन आस्किंग अस क्वेश्चंस द वे आई एम डूइंग दिस राइट नाउ विद एन एजेंडा इन प्लेस, राइट. एंड देन लिसन टू द कस्टमर. कस्टमर हैज द राइट, आपको कभी भी बीच में टोक सकते हैं, कभी भी, दे हैव फुल राइट एंड वी हैव टू लिसन टू देम. The customer may not like, the customer may be angry, as long as the customer is not abusive. अगर सेल्स वाले बंदे हैं तो उसको बोलते हैं ना थिक स्किन, मोटी चमड़ी, कोई टेंशन नहीं है. कस्टमर चिल्लाएगा, बोलेगा अरे आपको जब पिछली बार हुआ था आप लोग कोई अटेंड नहीं किया, नहीं वो तो सच्चाई हुई है तो सॉरी बोल दो भाई. Instead of trying to give an excuse, yes, again don't give an excuse. सर ये हो गया, मैं छुट्टी पे था, उसको बोला था, nothing. Moment you try to give that, customer will get even more irritated. सीधे से बोल दो सर गलती हो गई, I agree, we are extremely sorry, it should not have ever happened with you or for that matter any customer. So let us reassure you to not, and say that with genuinity and sincerity, and please follow it up. बोलने वास्ते नहीं बोलने का है, right? So keep on taking down notes, very important. Customer बोला कल सुबह मेरे को 10 बजे फोन करना, you have to call the customer at 10. You cannot, unless of course it's an exigency, कुछ emergency हो गई, then message the customer. आज somebody में customer को message करो, भाई वो problem में सर वो 10 बजे आपसे नहीं बात कर पाएंगे. We cannot give any excuse. Listen to the customer, note down their objections, and let me tell you, हम कितना भी पढ़ के जाते हैं ना मेरे प्रोडक्ट में ये है वो है ना, कस्टमर एक सवाल पूछते हैं और हम धराशायी, we are flat on the ground. But अजय वो हमारे competition में तो ये है, I am caught as if मेरे को I have no idea. So which means also important, know your competition also. Most of us, most of the time miss knowing our competition. That has been to an extent, I'll agree and I'll admit, over 30 years कई बार मैं competition पे उतना ध्यान नहीं किया. अपना प्रोडक्ट मेरा ये है, अच्छी बात है यार, जब तक आप दुश्मन का, दुश्मन इन अ लाइटर सेंस, राइट, जब तक आप उसके वीकनेस या उसकी स्ट्रेंथ नहीं जानते हो, half the battle is not won. You should know your at least you may not know the competition to the extent you know your product, obviously, but मोटा मोटा आपको पता रहना चाहिए ना कस्टमर के कंपटीशन के बारे में. And if you've done that, then customer ने objection किया, interjection कुछ भी किया, let the customer speak, let the customer be heard, उनकी सुनवाई हो जाने दीजिए. Then you take it up. सर आपने बिल्कुल सही बोला. Support the customer all the time. आपने सही बोला. And sir, not but, not however, and sir. It makes a difference. आप मेरे को but बोलेंगे यानी आपने मेरी बात काट दी, मेरे को पसंद नहीं आएगा. But however, which means you are challenging me. Nobody and customer अपने को हमेशा ऊंचा समझता है, right? कि मैं ही तो इसको धंधा दे रहा हूँ. So always be at the same level. Yes sir, and sir ये भी है. आप उनकी बात काट भी रहे हैं लेकिन नहीं भी काट रहे. So it's not easy. It's on a real life situation that you have to handle the customer. Yeah. So this is how the conversation proceeds, and keep on looking for cues, signals, and remember always हमेशा क्या होता है ना, language, body language, 90% is unspoken. It's only 10% जो मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ. 90% मेरी बॉडी लैंग्वेज आपको बता रही है मैं इंटरेस्टेड हूं नहीं हूं, कितना इंटरेस्टेड हूं, कितना इंटरेस्टेड नहीं हूं. कीप ऑन ऑब्जर्विंग द कस्टमर ऑल द टाइम. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. आपको पता लग जाएगा व्हेन यू शुड गो फॉर द किल. जब कस्टमर आपको समझ में आए कि हाँ दिस इज द टाइम आई कैन एक्चुअली नाउ कट, ट्राई टू क्लोज द डील. डू नॉट बी वेरी पुशी, बट आपको लग रहा है कि ये सेंस आपको आ रहा है कस्टमर ऐसे क्यूज दे रहा है, ऐसी चीजें बोल रहा है. Sorry, anybody? Yeah. So then go for the kill. It may also happen. So I was reading a book yesterday, Marketing Manager. मैं शर्मा साहब से बोल रहा था 30 साल बाद मैं वो किताब पढ़ रहा था. You may not know the person you are speaking to does not have the final authority. कई बार ऐसा भी होता है. Yes. Because पहले you may be meeting a junior guy, the final call will be taken by his boss or his super boss. वो आपको बात से पता लग जाएगा नेगोशिएशन में, सर इसके ऊपर तो हम नहीं दे सकते. So and then so you have your own ways and means to find out कि भाई हायरार्की क्या है, डिसीजन मेकर कौन है. ठीक है. And no need to ask them, you can find out from the market. And कॉम्पिटिटर में अगर आपका कोई दोस्त है वो बता देगा, वो भी बता देगा आपको. रिसेप्शनिस्ट भी आपको वहां बता देंगे सर इनके बॉस ये है, सर फाइनल कॉल यही लेते हैं. राइट. So then don't waste your too much of time when you know this person. Thank him or her. Thank you so much for your time, etc. Don't keep the call too long also, unless it's a complicated or a complex product. Right. I have been in procurement, so there have been cases when we need to go much into detail. We have long 2-3 hours meetings, right, to understand. Otherwise, sales call should not be too long, because remember, customer's time is, you're lucky आपको customer 5, 10, 15, 20 मिनट दे रहे हैं, उसी में आपको सब करना है. सो कस्टमर ने बोला नहीं यार 1 घंटा, मतलब आधे घंटे बोले थे यार, 15 मिनट मेरे को बॉस ने बोला है 15 मिनट. सो 15 मिनट्स में देन यू हैव टू स्ट्राइक एंड टॉक ओनली व्हाट यू थिंक इज इंपॉर्टेंट. बाकी सब साइड. आप तैयार होके आए थे, आप इतना बोलेंगे, ये सब बताएंगे, सर ये है, सर बाकी मैं आपको मेल पे कर दे रहा हूँ, या मैम ये बाकी मैं आपको मेल पे डाल दे रहा हूँ. Right? Talk only what is relevant, what you need, and eye contact with the customer. So that's about negotiation and persuasion. Finally, and all this happens in a virtual call also. Virtual call, maybe you should be ready. You cannot log in before time because they will not allow in, but then send a message to the customer. Ma'am, sir, I am ready. I am waiting. Whenever you say, we are waiting. उनको ये पता लग गया 3 बजे की मीटिंग है, 2:55 या 2:50 से आप रेडी हैं, तो आप उनको अलाउ करेंगे, then you will enter. Same warm smile, and then you may not be able to handshake. You can at least raise your hand and politely, good morning sir, good evening ma'am. Always sir and ma'am, in the Indian context at least, I can say. Right. And of course now generation and time are changing, you address by first name also, but to give that respect, after all he or she is the consumer. Right. Discussions, negotiations, right. And finally a very warm thank you, goodbye, and shake. That's what is a sales call all about. I mean, the way I have probably learned over the last maybe 30 years. And I'm not saying this is the best way. Please understand, this is a disclaimer. जो मैंने सीखा है, I'm trying to share with all of you. This may or may not be the best way. Everybody has his or her own style. हर का अपना तरीका होता है, तरीका, लेकिन उसमें कुछ ये बेसिक चीजें आप अगर आफ्टर टाइम लेट पहुंच रहे हैं तो फिर वो गलत बात है. दैट्स रॉन्ग. यू हैव टू रीच बिफोर टाइम. You have to be well turned out, right? You should be warm in your greeting, look into the eye, a slight smile, wait till you're offered a seat, right? And then, engage in the healthy or to the point conversation. But yes, when I say to the point, pehle thoda sa break the ice, right? And then of course, then you have the conversation and this. So this is how I, this is my thought. Any questions, please? Any questions, please ask me. I would like आप लोग में से कोई हमसे सवाल पूछे. I would like अगर आप लोग इससे सहमत नहीं है, that will help me to understand. Anybody, please. I'll stop sharing because I can't see any of you. मेरे को अच्छा नहीं लग रहा है, मैं किसी को देख नहीं पा रहा हूँ. Okay. Can I request if people can switch on their videos? That will help me to see. Sudhir Shah Sahab देख रहे हैं कहीं, Satyan Shah Sahab, Raghavendra ji, Nitin Chikale, is there somebody, Deepak Kalathil, Oindrila, R Vasu, Shailesh, Deepa C, Supriya, K Keswani. Am I audible? Can somebody respond? I hope I'm.
You are
Yes,
audible.
sir, you're
Yeah,
audible.
absolutely.
अरे तो आप सबका चेहरा भी देख ले, मेरे को भी तो लगेगा, अच्छा लगेगा. केसवानी साहब, Sharma साहब, is it allowed that I think everybody can switch on their videos unless किसी को bandwidth का issue है?
Because because of the bandwidth issue, some people don't switch on their camera, so it's perfectly okay for us, even if somebody is not.
सर मेरे को किसी का चेहरा नहीं दिख रहा है.
I think that should be okay.
That should be okay. That should be okay. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So let's come back. So this is how I perceive a sales call. This is entirely. This is the way I have learned over the years, having sold paints, lubricants, petroleum, telecom, IT, insurance across retail space, across corporate space, across institutional space. फंडा वही रहेगा, फंडा नहीं बदलेगा, आप कुछ भी कर लीजिए. Even in the virtual call mode, yeah. Always given an opportunity, yes, prefer a physical meeting. फिजिकल मीटिंग में जो बॉडी लैंग्वेज जो सामने बैठ के बात होती है ना, वर्चुअल मीटिंग में कभी नहीं हो सकती है. इट कैन नेवर हैपन. वर्चुअल मीटिंग में कभी नेटवर्क इशू हो गया, कभी कोई म्यूट पे चला गया, कभी कोई इंटरप्शन हो गया. फिजिकल मीटिंग, द कस्टमर इज गिविंग यू ऑल हिज और हर टाइम अक्रॉस द टेबल. वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इवन इफ इट्स अ स्ट्रगल फॉर यू टू रीच द कस्टमर, बड़े ऑड आवर पे फ्राइडे शाम 7 बजे बुला लिया, आपके दोस्तों के साथ बाहर जाने की बात थी, बट कस्टमर ने बुलाया. सो कस्टमर तो भगवान है, रिमेंबर. या let me come back to my presentation, yeah, and let me try to so let me try to share. So this is where we were. Is the slide visible, please? Sharma sahab, sir, is the slide visible?
Yes, it is.
Achha, great. So this is what in essence is a sales call. Now we will go a little bit into the theory part of it, yeah. The steps of a sales call, yeah, which we all read in the books, which I have also referred to. We all, I think, have read. I read after so many years. I don't know if my screen pe dikh rahi hai. Marketing Management, the Bible by Philip Kotler. The last name, he's my college mate, G. Shainesh. He's a professor at IIM Bangalore, marketing. He's authored the Indian edition. Very interesting. So steps of a sales call, prospecting. हमें पता करना है. We need to find out. कोल्ड कॉल भी होती हैं. तो जैसे मैं बैठा हूँ वहाँ पे 10 मिनट बिफोर द कॉल, यू कैन एक्चुअली फाइंड आउट उस बिल्डिंग में और ऑफिसेज अगर हैं. इफ यू आर गोइंग टू अ बिल्डिंग, अनलेस इट्स कस्टमर की अकेली बिल्डिंग है, अदरवाइज कस्टमर जिस बिल्डिंग में है, जहाँ पे भी है, देयर माइट बी अदर कस्टमर्स इन द सेम बिल्डिंग और आसपास. ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट, राइट. या आपका प्रोडक्ट या सर्विस ऐसा है, राइट, विच एवरीबडी नीड्स. सो ट्राई टू फाइंड आउट भाई बगल में कौन सा ऑफिस है, कौन है, कॉन्टैक्ट नंबर कौन है, कुछ नहीं तो वहां पे एटलीस्ट एंट्री मिल जाए, राइट. सो इट्स अ मिक्स ऑफ अ कोल्ड कॉल. सो I would always strongly, and I still strongly advocate, never hesitate from a cold call. ज्यादा से ज्यादा customer भगा देगा या मिलेगा नहीं, ज्यादा से ज्यादा यही होगा. You have not lost anything. You have not lost at all. Let me assure you. Yeah. Prospecting, then pre-approach, how you need to prepare yourself for the call, correct? If you're meeting a customer for the first time, please do read up on the customer and the company. जितना भी आप देखें, इंटरनेट पे देखें, लिंक्डइन पे देखें, the individual जिनसे आप मिलने जा रहे हैं, if you know, उनके बारे में थोड़ा पता करें. You should know. Talk to for example, if you know somebody in the company, or talk to people within your organization. If somebody knows somebody in that client, या पहले कभी service हुआ हो, फिर वो client ने बंद कर दिया हो business with you for various reasons, find out. कोई customer had some issue because of which customer said इस अब vendor से हमें काम नहीं करना है. That's an important thing. In fact, that gives an opportunity, because वहां पे कभी हम वहां पे we were sellers there, अब हम वहां बंद हो गए हैं. क्यों बंद हुए, क्या वजह हुई? Find out, try to get a solution. Yeah. So do your homework well. Do your homework well. It's important. It's very important. Planning all the time. Yeah. Then the next is presentation. What we discussed, it's how you present, your body language, smartly turned out, pleasant smile. Have time on your side. Customer ने आधे घंटे के लिए बुलाया. Who knows? They get engaged. Reverse भी होता है. अरे रुको भाई, हमारे बॉस भी आएंगे, एंड शायद सीईओ साहब भी इधर ही हैं, उन्होंने बोला 10 मिनट मेरे को भी देखना है. सो डोंट कीप योर नेक्स्ट कॉल इमीडिएटली कि यार 2:30 बजे खत्म हुआ, 3 बजे अगली कॉल रखी है. यू नेवर नो. हो सकता है आपकी ये कॉल 2:30 की 4 बजे तक चली जाए, और रखिए तो रखिए, कोई बात नहीं. देन यू नीड टू इन्फॉर्म, जस्ट बी पोलाइट, सर आई हैव अ नेक्स्ट कॉल, आई पोस्टपोन दैट कॉल, या मैम आई पोस्टपोन दैट कॉल, गिव मी 2 मिनट्स, बाहर जाके बात कर लीजिए कि अनफॉर्चुनेटली आई हैव गॉट स्टक अप. सो कीप टाइम ऑन योर साइड. या, and that's the presentation, and depends on if the CEO there is coming on the call or on the physical mode. You need to be absolutely confident of what you're talking about. If you don't know, even otherwise, don't say, never say, don't try to give something off the cuff. अगर आपको नहीं पता है, आप हाथ खड़े कर दीजिए, right? But as far as possible, if you're well prepared, you will be able to answer most of the questions. Especially competition. वो competition के बारे में customer पूछता है, और and we fall flat because we don't know. Competition के बारे में हमें तो पता ही नहीं था. अरे ये भी है, competition ने ये भी निकाल दिया है, हम तो इसके भी बात ही कर रहे हैं, competition ने launch कर दिया है, competition के पास ये service है. So if you know about competition, it helps you to be better prepared. Yeah. So बोलते हैं competition ये कर रहा है, हाँ सर हमारे यहाँ भी काम हो रहा है, we are aware, sir, absolutely right, and सर हमारे यहाँ भी launch होगा, सर, and over this सर हमारे पास ये भी है. Also, yes, important. Never deride competition. Competition को कभी down नहीं करने का. Why? I want to hear from all of you. Competition को कभी नीचा नहीं दिखाने का है. क्यों? I want to ask all of you here, and I want some answers, please. Please speak into the mic if I'll request. कंपटीशन को कभी हम नीचा क्यों नहीं दिखाएं?
It reflects individual's approach and personality.
Yes, very right, sir. Raghavendra ji, you are very right, sir. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that. Anybody else? Sorry. Would request others. आप लोग सब जानते हैं, and I'm sure some of you have been doing sales, some of you have read about sales, but sales is something which is very intrinsic. जब बच्चा पैदा होता है ना, तब से सेल चालू होती है. बच्चा रोता है, जो ज्यादा रोता है उसको पहले टेंशन मिलता है. So sales begin right from the time we born till we are no more. Sir Masab had very nicely put it in the beginning. It's happening with us all the time. Request others, please speak up. हम कंपटीशन को क्या नुकसान है? मैं बोल रहा हूँ कंपटीशन बेकार है सर, उसके पास ये नहीं है, वो नहीं है, उनको कुछ नहीं पता, उनका देखो छोटी सी कंपनी है, ये है, उनके पास ये नहीं है, वो उसके लोग चले गए, उनका ही नुकसान हो गया. What is wrong if I tell that to the consumer, to the prospective customer or the customer? गलत क्या है इसमें?
There is one point that I may be doing part of the competitor, but
Correct.
if the other party is more aware, then I have to defend it. And if I am not able to defend what I'm saying, so it will be reflecting bad on my part.
हाँ, yes, yes, yes. You're saying कि competition के बारे में उतनी जानकारी नहीं है, आप बोल रहे हैं, right? Right, आदर्श जी? No, so my question was, what is the harm अगर आप competition को down करें? Because आपको अपना, you have to sell your stuff there, ना? You have to sell your product or service. आपको competition को down करोगे तभी तो आप उसके ऊपर चढ़ के जाओगे. So what is wrong? क्या नुकसान?
Sir, if I try to speak ill of my competitor
हाँ जी.
and try to show him in a bad light, it generally boomerangs on me as well.
Very good. How does it boomerang on you, sir?
People see me through a negative way, the customer, if I'm speaking ill of somebody else.
अच्छा, चलिए अजिंक्य, अभी आप मेरे को कुछ सेल करने आए हैं. लेट्स ट्राई टू डू इट ऑन द कॉल राइट नाउ. ठीक है, मैं कस्टमर हूँ. ठीक है, और आप मेरे को, चलिए, लैपटॉप बेच रहे हैं. ठीक है, आप कंपनी ए से हैं, आप मेरे को लैपटॉप बेच रहे हैं. चलिए बताइए. हाँ जी अजिंक्य, ये आपका लैपटॉप ए है. हाँ, ये वैसे बी भी अच्छा है यार, सी भी अच्छा है, तो लेकिन बी में कुछ प्रॉब्लम है क्या? बोलिए. Anybody, anyone, open to anyone, not only अजिंक्य जी. मेरे को लग रहा है बी में कुछ प्रॉब्लम. लोग बी यूज तो कर रहे हैं, बट कुछ लोग कंप्लेन कर रहे हैं. आप लोग ने भी कुछ सुना है क्या? आप लोग तो भाई मार्केट में हैं, आप लोग इतना बेचते हैं, आपका ब्रांड ए है, अच्छा ब्रांड है, ब्रांड बी भी अच्छा है, बट ऑफ लेट कंप्लेंट्स आ रही हैं. आप लोग ने तो सुना होगा भाई. What should be the response, or what would be a good response? I'm not saying anything is the best. Anybody?
So the response would be
हाँ जी.
that why get satisfied with good when you can get excellent?
Not bad. I like that. I like the style. good. So आपने उसे डाउन ना करके भी डाउन किया, या जो भी बोलिए, उसको गुड भी किया और अपने को एक्सेलेंट कर दिया. I like the style, सत्यन जी. Very good. What do you do, sir? आप क्या करते हैं?
We are dealers for Kirloskar pumps.
Very good. बहुत अच्छी बात है सर. Anybody else? I think session बहुत बोरिंग हो गया है शर्मा साहब.
No, it's perfectly okay. I think it's going fine.
So I mean, simple. Anybody, there are so many people here, and you all collectively or even otherwise would be knowing much more than I as an individual, right? So I'm telling you ना, मैं आपका प्रोस्पेक्टिव कस्टमर हूँ. आप ब्रांड ए लैपटॉप मेरे को बेचने आए हैं, मैं ब्रांड बी यूज कर रहा हूँ, राइट? मैं बोलता हूँ यार हाँ, लेकिन बी में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. अब आप बताओ आपका क्या है बी में. आप लोग ने क्या सुना है बी के बारे में? शुरू में तो बड़ा अच्छा था यार, अब पता नहीं गड़बड़ हो रहा है, कंप्लेंट्स आ रही है. So what would be your response? What would be a good response? What should be a good response? Anybody, please. This is not a KBC. This is not a correct or wrong question. Like Satyan ji answered very well. You may be dealing with the good, but why not the excellent? Right? Anybody, please. आप लोग बोलेंगे तो मेरे को भी हिम्मत आएगी. Okay. So.
We will tell them that we are aware of that issues in B. That's why we have launched a better product which can handle those kind of issues, and we have added more features to it.
Very good. That could be an approach. So very good. Anybody else? So without putting down competition, remember, आप competition को down नहीं करेंगे. So sir, हमने भी कुछ मार्केट में ऐसा सुना है सर, बट इट्स ऑल्सो गुड ब्रांड. हम सर अभी आपको ब्रांड ए, आपने हमें बुलाया, हम आपको इसके बारे में बताएंगे. ट्राई टू साइड स्टेप द इशू, राइट? डू नॉट ट्राई टू ब्रिंग डाउन कंपटीशन. हो सकता है कस्टमर आपको बहका रहा है, घुमा रहा है, ठीक है? इट ऑलवेज हैपेंस. नेवर ब्रिंग डाउन कंपटीशन, बिकॉज कंपटीशन इज ऑल्सो गुड. नहीं तो वो और आप बाजार में एक साथ नहीं टिकते. नंबर 1. नंबर 2, अनलाइक सत्यन शाह साहब जो खुद डीलरशिप है जिनकी, इवन फॉर हिम, हो सकता है 2 साल बाद आप दूसरी कंपनी में उसी में नौकरी लेने जाए जिसको आप पहले डाउन कर रहे थे. इट हैपेंस. It happens, remember. So if you want a job in that company, बोलेंगे उस समय हमारी बड़ी बेइज्जती की, अब आप नौकरी लेने आ रहे हो. And I'm laughing, but it actually happens, right? It does happen. So never deride competition. They are there for a reason in the market, and it's always good to have competition. Always good. Always good. Yeah. So let me proceed. Persuasion. आप कैसे persuade करते हैं customer को, right? There are various. It's very individualistic. Even if it's a B2C or a B2B, right? You have to always keep on observing the customer physically. कैसे customer का क्या reaction है, क्या बोल रहे हैं, क्या लग रहा है, अच्छा भाई बताओ अगर हमें ये चाहिए, तो which means they are opening up, they are showing their interest. You should start now going for the kill. अब आप अपना प्रिपेयर हो रहे हैं, अच्छा अब लग रहा है कस्टमर खुल रहा है, पूछ रहा है मेरे से. या यू नीड टू बी परसुएसिव बट नॉट वेरी पुशी. नहीं सर आज मेरे को डील क्लोज करनी है, मेरे को सर टारगेट है. ये मैं भी बोल चुका हूं कई बार. जहां उसे पता चलेगा आपका क्लोजिंग है ना, वो आपसे और डिस्काउंट लेगा. ऑलवेज. सत्यन शाह जी, am I right, sir?
Yes sir, very much.
जैसे ही पता रहता है कि किर्लोस्कर की क्लोजिंग है, उसी दिन ऑर्डर प्लेस करेंगे, बिकॉज वो मैक्सिमम डिस्काउंट देगा. Obviously, no, because he's got to close his numbers. Yeah. So it always happens.
Yeah.
Closing has to be again polite, smiling. Customer may call for a next meeting, may throw you out, may close and place the order, may say okay I'll get back. So whatever. Be polite, keep a smile on. पता नहीं शायद अगले महीने या 2 साल बाद वो कस्टमर आपका बने. You never know. It's a very small world. Yeah. Closing, and then yes, this is the key. Servicing. In today's world, and I think it's been all, एक बार माल बेच दिया, I'm using Hindi also, I hope it's okay, तो हम निकल गए. We have forgotten. No. Even if it's a laptop which virtually does not require service in 3, 4, 5 years, keep in touch with the customer. Show your interest, show your keenness. Once a while जाके मिलिए. While servicing is being handled by somebody else, आप बोलोगे यार मेरा तो KRA नहीं है, मेरे को तो टारगेट हो गया, मैं दूसरे आप जाओ दूसरे कस्टमर के पास बेशक. What is the harm if you meet that customer, talk, even put a WhatsApp, भाई एक मैसेज डाल दो, सर how are you, I hope everything is well, I hope कोई दिक्कत नहीं आ रही है. Show your interest and engagement with the customer. This is sadly lacking today largely, because when I was in procurement for 7 years and I have handled from a Chatawala to a Microsoft or an Oracle with not a Rolls Royce, but with a BMW and a 1 lakh square feet office space in between. Follow बहुत कम होता है. Once the product is sold, the person does not normally come back to check. And if you go back to check, you are 1 in a million. ठीक है सर, सब इंस्टॉल हो गया, सही है सर, कोई दिक्कत तो नहीं, सर चाय पीने आ सकते हैं. ज्यादा बना ही करेगा ना, हो सकता है आ जाओ यार मेरे को दिक्कत आ रही है यार, पता नहीं वो मैं तुम्ही को जानता हूँ. बिकॉज रिमेंबर अनदर इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, जो बंदा सेल करता है या द लेडी हु सेल्स, ही और शी इज द स्पॉक, सिंगल पॉइंट ऑफ कॉन्टैक्ट. वो आते हैं सर हम ये करेंगे, हम वो करेंगे, फिर वो ये करेगा, फिर चौथा ये करेगा. बट आई गेट कंफ्यूज्ड यार एज अ कस्टमर. मैं कितने लोगों, मैं बोलता हूँ मैं बस आपको पहचानता हूँ, मैं आपसे बात करूंगा, आई विल स्पीक ओनली टू यू. Why should you confuse me speaking to 4 people? You become the Spock. सर आप चिंता मत करिए, सर मेरा नंबर है, आप मेरे से बात करिए, कोई भी प्रॉब्लम, and then internally you take it up with the relevant team. Right? So very important. Some real life examples I think I've already shared. अभी मैं वही बात कर रहा था, you know, about follow up or repeat visits. Very, very important, which unfortunately does not happen so much for reasons like time नहीं है वगैरह, which actually I would not agree if I start thinking. आप उसी रास्ते से गुजर रहे हैं, अगले 4 महीने बाद दूसरे क्लाइंट के पास, अगर आप 5-10 मिनट रुक के उस कस्टमर से मिल लें, I don't think you're losing anything. You're gaining his or her trust and confidence. Do that all the time. Do that all the time if we can. Right? Communication. I just mentioned this. Keep in touch with the customer throughout the life cycle. कैसे भी करके, आपका काम नहीं है, बट अगर आप कस्टमर को एक मैसेज व्हाट्सएप कर दें, अगर आपको पता है सो रिलेशनशिप्स कैसे बिल्ड होती हैं? अगर आपको कस्टमर की बर्थडे पता है, या उसकी बेटी की या बेटे का बर्थडे पता है, उसके अच्छे नंबर आए 10वीं में 12वीं में, आपने मैसेज कर दिया बॉस कस्टमर इज फ्लोर्ड, आपने फोन कर दिया, आपने उनको फ्लावर्स भेज दिए, बेसिक दीज, इट्स अगेन बैक टू द बेसिक्स, आपने कुछ गलत नहीं किया है। दीज आर दोस थिंग्स ना जो बोलते हैं इमोशनली छू जाती हैं, कस्टमर इतना खुश हो जाता है, यार देखो 5 साल पहले वो बंदा आया था, राइट, ही इज ट्रांसफर टू अनदर लोकेशन, या ही इज ट्रांसफर टू अनदर डिपार्टमेंट, ही हैंडल सम अदर, ही रिमेंबर्स माय डॉटर्स बर्थडे, व्हाट मोर यार. So it's all about the human connect. It's all about, somebody mentioned in the beginning, it's all about the relationships. It's always, all the time. Again, I repeat, whether it's a B2C, where obviously it's very close selling, it's interpersonal, right? Or even B2B, you develop a relationship with the customer. When I was in procurement, with some of the partners, and I hate the word vendors, they are about partners in procurement. You develop a one-to-one so close. कुछ लोगों के साथ आपका हो जाता है. So it goes beyond that. It goes beyond the normal transaction. You become friends also. Right? So that is the relationship, and that binds us all the time as human beings. Man is a social animal. Very important. Anybody, please, any questions? Please keep on stopping me wherever you would like to, please.
Yeah, sir.
Please ask me, sir.
Is audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir. Please ask me, sir.
Yeah, sir.
Yes, sir. Please ask. Kamlakaran, sir. I think I couldn't get the name completely. Please ask, sir. Hello.
You can ask the question.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you, sir. I think some network issue at your or my end, I don't know. But please ask, sir. Please ask.
Yeah, is audible now?
Yes, sir. Very much audible.
Yeah,
Please
okay,
ask.
sir. Yeah, everything is okay. Whatever you said, I applied my past 4 years.
Right,
And
sir.
how to handle that price war,
Right, sir.
customer competition price and our price, how to handle that is the main
100%, sir. And let me raise my hands. I don't have an answer. After 30 years also of selling, there is no answer to this question. The price war will always be played, and the consumer will always use it to his or her advantage. You are absolutely right. Right? So it now it depends on situations. As a partner, vendor partner, as a seller, what is your range, right? Then you need to bring in the concept of features, advantage. Remember FAB: features, advantage, benefits, and value. Sir, you are saying, you're right, competition B is priced 15% or 10% below me. You're right, sir. And I'm not saying the product is bad. Sir, we are priced at 100, they're priced at 90, 85. You're right, sir. However, what we can offer, which is intangible, right? I mean, that is one way out, I'm saying, in case you have something, which means you know your competition very well, right? Ki, sir, hamare paas ye hai, we are able to give this service, right? While it is not mentioned in the contract, sir, we give you a 24/7 service. Sir, I am your call center. You'll call me. You need not call the call center, sir. मैं आपका call center हूँ. आप रात को 3 बजे फोन करिए. When I was in Reliance Petroleum, हमने पेट्रोल पंप्स लगाए थे. Now, for most of you, आपने Reliance petrol pumps highways पे देखे हैं, because we took lands on the highways. We set up diesel petrol pumps selling, and obviously highway पे maximum diesel बिकता है. शहर में to get permission and to get land was very difficult and expensive. सर, अगर आपने कभी, आप लोग को पता होगा, जब भी कोई शहर से जब ट्रक निकलता है ना, ट्रक ड्राइवर, वो नॉर्मली अर्ली मॉर्निंग निकलता है. रात को लोडिंग वोडिंग हो गई, दिन दोपहर शाम को लोडिंग हो गई. क्यों सुबह सुबह निकलता है? रास्ता खाली रहता है, पुलिस वाला नहीं तंग करता है. प्राइमरली 2 रीजंस. शहर से निकलता है, और शहर से अगर आप निकलेगा, कभी भी आप देखोगे, वो टंकी फुल कराता है. पहले 240 से 160 लीटर की टंकी आती थी ट्रक्स में, 12-10 ट्रकों में 16, 12, 22, 16 जो लिखा रहता है ना, उसमें 16-12 स्टैंड्स फॉर 16 टन 120 हॉर्स पावर. 16 पहले 2 इज टन्स, 12 एंड इनटू 10 इज 120 हॉर्स पावर. ये सब हमने ट्रक वालों से सीखा है. सो वो पहले पेट्रोल पंप ऑन द लेफ्ट साइड एग्जिटिंग दैट सिटी, वो पेट्रोल पंप चाहे 5 किलोमीटर दूर और 50 किलोमीटर, वहां टंकी फुल कराता है. सो कैलकाटा से निकला NH6 is to चेन्नई, राइट? So NH5 is to Chennai from Jharpokadiya junction. Sorry, NH6 is towards this side, Surat इस तरफ. तो उसने वहां पेट्रोल पंप भराना है करीब 3-4 बजे सुबह. फॉर वट एवर रीजन हमारा वहां सिस्टम डाउन है. नाउ व्हाट विल हैपन, द ट्रक ड्राइवर वहां पेट्रोल पंप पे कोशिश कर रहा है तेल भराने के लिए, राइट. फॉर वट एवर रीजन नहीं भरा पा रहा है, राइट. सम आईटी इशू. आई एम स्लीपिंग इन द हाउस ऑब्वियसली. आई कैन नॉट से नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस. तो कोशिश करते हैं, फिर वो ऊपर फोन गया, ऊपर गया, नहीं रिजॉल्व हो रहा है. फोन मेरे पास आ रहा है. आई कैनॉट टेल बॉस मैं भी सो रहा हूं यार, 9 बजे बात करते हैं. वाई? बिकॉज उससे अपनी ट्रक वहां से लेके निकलना है. आई कैनॉट आस्क हिम टू वेट, ही इज माई कस्टमर. वी टेक द पीपल ऑन द कॉल हुसोवर इज रिक्वायर्ड. आधा घंटा लगा जो भी है, बट उसे पेट्रोल डीजल सॉरी हमें वहां देना है. वी हैव टू सर्विस द कस्टमर एनी टाइम ऑफ द डे और नाइट. हमने उसे तेल दिया, डीजल दिया. कितनी बार कॉल्स आती थी, बिकॉज वो उसी वक्त सुबह निकलेंगे 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 बजे के अंदर, बिफोर डे लाइट दे लीव द सिटी, इफ यू नोटिस, राइट. एंड वी हैव टू सर्विस. तो हमारी प्रॉब्लम है कि हमारा सिस्टम नहीं काम कर रहा है. उसके पास तो सब कुछ है, एंड देयर इज मनी इनटू हिज अकाउंट, एंड ही नीड्स डीजल. So which means you need to be there for the customer all the time. So coming back to your question, sir, you give this value proposition. Sir, you forget our call center. My number is your call center. You call me whenever you want. If my number is unreachable, sir, this is a backup number. I will be there to serve you, sir, Saturday, Sunday, 25th December, 31st December. Maybe that can be a value proposition, sir, to answer your question. Yeah. It's not easy to play the price war. You're absolutely right. So there are various ways actually. There's no one standard answer to your question if you ask me. There's no one standard answer. But it's a good question. Price war will always happen. And that's where as a customer hum uska fayda uthate hain. Right? So
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you dear. Thank you so much. Now let me go on to something what I call general gyan, which is what I have tried to, what I have kind of learned, still learning over the last 30 years, and I'm learning and I'm trying to share with all of you. You're all people, I guess, some from the academia, as I can see. Professor Dr. Lagate is there, and the people from BMA, Sharma Saab is there, there's Lakshmi ji, Shukla ji, and then people, aap log, कुछ लोग आई थिंक ट्रेड में हैं, कुछ लोग सेल्स में हैं, कुछ लोग इन डिफरेंट फंक्शंस in your organizations, right? Some students, I don't know. So general gyan is also very important, yeah. And what is general gyan? Sleep. We need to sleep 7 to 7.5 hours daily. हम ये नहीं कर सकते हैं बॉस वीकेंड में सो लूंगा रात तो मतलब 10, 12, 15 घंटे. No. Why? Sleep is required for the body to recover. Human body recovers when we sleep. अगर injury है, the body heals the fastest when we sleep. It sends signals for faster healing. It gives rest to the mind. It gives rest to the body. ये शरीर ही हमें चलाता है. अगर हम enough नहीं सोएंगे, which unfortunately is happening today. Today even my daughters, मैं 5 बजे उठता हूँ, गुड मॉर्निंग बोलता हूँ, गुड नाइट बोलती हैं. अब so that tussle continues, So it's important. Please catch up and try to sleep during the night. That is when the human biological clock works, that आपको नींद आती है. Once a while, of course, मस्ती हो रही है friends के साथ, but not on a regular basis. Physical activity is very important. I have been in insurance now for 10 years, and now I'm 54. गब्बर सिंह ने, अगर आप लोग सबको शोले याद है, शोले कोई भूलता नहीं, उसने क्या बोला था? जब तक तेरे पैर चलेंगे तेरी जान चलेगी. And he was right. Keep on moving. Be physically active all the time, right? Whether you walk, you run, you jog, you swim, you cycle, you play anything. If body होता है ना, जब तक वो engine में rust वरना खा जाता है, the body starts rusting. I picked up jogging after college. I had a slip disc in January 2019. फिर मैं डॉक्टर फ्रेंड्स ने बोला बहुत बुढ़े हो गए, अब दौड़ना वड़ना भूल जाओ सब कुछ. So I used to play tennis in my complex. Then, but I stay in a large complex in Mumbai. So लोग दौड़ते होते हैं. तो they told कोशिश तो करो यार, जिस स्पीड से आप चलते हो उसी स्पीड से वॉक करो, start jogging. What happens at the same pace of 9, 10, 11 minutes per kilometer? Just time yourself. अगर आप walk कर रहे हैं ना, you are expending around 70 calories per kilometer. but when you jog at the same pace, you will expend करीब उससे 50% more, 105 to 110 calories, right? आपकी calorie burn ज़्यादा हो रहा है, right? And when you're jogging, remember you're lifting your foot off the ground for a few seconds, milliseconds, and bring it down. हाँ? उससे heart पे pressure पड़ता है, heart endurance बढ़ती है. Heart is able to endure that force. Of course, with after disclaimer is कि आप अपने डॉक्टर से जरूर बात कर लें. Check with your doctor's permission. Now, walking you can do anytime. Walking and swimming, I think, are two things which a doctor will never refuse to anybody, even if a person is afflicted with some disease. So please be physically active as much as one can. Be happy. Tension लेने का नहीं है, देने का है. Be happy all the time. Spread happiness around you. खुश रहोगे तो आप दूसरों में भी खुशी बांटोगे. Be happy and spread happiness. सोचने का ज्यादा नहीं है, उतना ही टेंशन लेने का है जितना अपने बस में है. ज्यादा सोचने का नहीं है, right? So friends are very important, very very important. Keep in touch with friends. Why? वो जो स्कूल के फ्रेंड्स है, कॉलेज के फ्रेंड्स है ना, उनके साथ ही, because when you come in a corporate life or when you're working, you have friends, I'm not saying, but जो मस्तियां, जो क्लोज बॉन्डिंग होती है बचपन के दोस्तों के साथ, वो कहीं नहीं आएगी वापस, कभी नहीं आएगी. Courtesy WhatsApp. Now, I passed my class 10th in 1983. कितने हो गए? 39 years ago. वो जो खुशी मिलती है to talk to school friends, to college friends, there is no beating it. It gives you a lot of joy. It gives you a lot of happiness. It gives you a lot of this thing into. So be in touch with friends all the time. Video call करिए, मिलिए. मैं जब भी कोई शहर जाता हूँ, कोई भी अगर अपना कॉलेज स्कूल का फ्रेंड है, कुछ भी हो जाएगा, शाम को काम के बाद तो मिलना ही है. Do that. Develop a hobby. कुछ भी करिए. You like music, you like painting, you like singing, you like dancing, you like watching movies, you like reading, you like you go out on a trek, you like sports. कुछ करिए. Keep yourself actively engaged. कुछ भी करिए. जब आपको you watch, क्या movie binging लोग बोलते हैं, हाँ, but binging अब पता नहीं, मतलब though I don't promote it, because बैठे आप पिक्चर देख रहे हैं, ठीक है. So people look at it differently. So what else? Humility. Always remember, अगला आदमी इंसान ही तो है ना. The person across is a human being first. वो चांस की बात है कि वो वहां बैठे और आप यहाँ बैठे हैं, right? If you go and find out within our country, there's so many people. So I'll come to the next point. Actually, that's my next point. So let me go on to the takeaways. Yeah, takeaways of whatever probably I've spoken in the last, I guess, an hour and 10 minutes maybe. Yeah. Some of the takeaways here. We are all born salespersons. आप इनमें से, अगर आप में से जितने youngsters हैं who have girlfriends or girls who have boyfriends, हैं, अरे यार चलो चलते हैं बाहर, नहीं यार आज मैं बिजी हूँ, इधर वो आपको कन्विंस करेंगे, आप उनको कन्विंस करेंगे. आप कर क्या रहे? आप सेल्स ही कर रहे हैं. मियाँ बीवी एट माई एज, इधर आई कन्विंस, आज थक गए यार, अभी ऑफिस हैं. माई वाइफ विल टेल मी, नहीं यार हम दिन भर घर में रहे, लेट्स गो आउट फॉर डिनर. It's all the time. My daughters, I'll try to convince them, बेटा चलो नीचे खेलने के लिए, नहीं हम घर में एक्सरसाइज करेंगे. So all the time we are selling. Remember, we are a social, a man is a social animal. Proper planning. I think we went through the whole thing. We need to be, अगर आपने प्लानिंग कर ली, more than half the battle is won. तैयारी आपने सही कर ली है तो आप जीत के आएंगे, कोई नहीं रोक सकता है. The next point is know your competition. Surprisingly, I was just reading books. I don't know why people don't talk about competition. You should always try to know as much about it. Competition को अगर आपने जान लिया competition में क्या दम है, तो आपको ये भी पता है कि आपके पास क्या कुछ और है या competition के पास क्या नहीं है. And without bringing down competition or showing them in poor light, आप अपने तरीके से your buyer को बताएं कि why should you be the preferred choice. Correct? Take care of your physical health. Very important. Mental health, लोग बहुत ज्ञान देते हैं, मेरे को नहीं समझ में आता है mental health क्या होती है. खुश रहना चाहिए. But physical health, I can definitely say, take care of your physical health. So now I've been running for 6 months. Yeah. I love my sweets, इसलिए वजन उतना कम नहीं हुआ है. मैं शर्मा साहब को बता रहा था, मेरे को मीठा बहुत पसंद है. तो be happy. Yes sir. Yes sir. Please ask sir.
Sir, I spoken every day 1 or 3 customers,
Yes, sir.
but all of some mindset in product A.
Yes.
But how to that mindset broken and install my product B?
Very good question, sir. Very good, sir. I couldn't get your name since I'm unable to see on the screen. May I know your good name, sir?
Or Vasu.
Acha, Mr. Vasu. Mr. Vasu, I think very good question. Mr. Vasu is trying to break into a customer who's obsessed with competitor product. And despite his repeated attempts, the customer is not budging. Did I get you right, Mr. Vasu? Is that your
Yes.
question? So what to do, correct?
Yes, sir.
So, sir, I have given enough gyan for the day. Let's hear it from all people here in the audience. What should we do? I think very, very good and valid question, Mr. Vasu. Thank you for that. What should we do? Anybody? Anybody, please. And there's no one good answer. There are various ways.
May I speak?
Yes, sir. Please, please. Your good name, sir. Please.
Satyen Shah.
Satyen Shah, sir. Bataiye. Please, sir.
So, Vasuji, I would recommend that if the competitor is buying the product with the brand with which he is obsessed, maybe 10 in quantity. First of all, you may persuade that against 10, at least try to sell one product of yours. So, you may just give him the gyan that, it will help you to understand the products better. So against 10, maybe he may buy 9 initially of the competitor and 1 of yours. And then that will help him to understand the product features, the benefits, the advantages.
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Brilliant, Satyanji. So, Vasu Sahab, I kind of agree. This is one approach. What he's saying is, कैसे भी हमको करके, सर एक तो हमारा आप रख के तो देख लो सर, एक हमारा प्रोडक्ट ट्राई करिए, right? I'm not saying कि we are good or bad. You please try for yourself and I'll come back whenever you say and tell us, sir, आपको कैसा लगा? Good idea, very good idea, and it works in many situations. Now let me, मैं आपका प्रोडक्ट नहीं रखना चाहता हूँ, सर नहीं रखना, जाइए, मेरे को नहीं रखना है. चलिए, अब हम क्या करेंगे? I am not interested in keeping your product at all. Your product is hopeless, and I'll continue with this brand. If you people,
sir, already I convinced more than customers.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, Vasu sir. Sorry, I couldn't.
Sir, already I convinced more time my product.
I convinced more time my product. I didn't understand. Sorry, sir. Please, once again, sir. I am sorry. I could not understand.
Sir, I will convince my product more time one of the customer.
But sir, yeah, tell
but
yes,
I am not broken that mindset.
Correct.
I also trying this way also.
Correct. So, sir,
so I tell more benefit my product service whatever 24/7, and you call to me whatever I explain.
Correct.
But not broken mind customer. That's why I asking this question.
You are absolutely right, sir. Anybody else, please answer. I don't think I may have a perfect answer. None of us may have a perfect answer to Mr. Vasu's question, but let us attempt, let us try at least. Jointly, let us try to answer. It's a very typical, very standard thing which happens in sales all the time. Anybody, please. Anybody else, please.
Sir, I would like to pitch into this. That,
yes, sir, please.
Sir, I do understand that you are completely disagree with our offerings or our product.
Right, sir.
But what I'm trying to say that if you are not using my product or my services,
right,
can you advise something where I can make my product up to your mark or up to your criteria, and so that I can. It's very good you are saying that you don't like my product, but there are many people whom I am offering it and people are using it. But if you advise something better, some points for betterment of my product, so it will be good for all the other customers also who are using it. So since you are not willing to buy my product, but at least you give me some advice so that we can give me something where I can improvise my product.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you, Raghavendra ji. Now I'll try to respond if I'm a good customer. Okay, Raghavendra ji, chaliye baithiye, I'll tell you. And if I'm a bad customer, sir, I'm not here for charity. मेरे पास टाइम नहीं है. आप अपना पता करिए आपके प्रोडक्ट में क्या प्रॉब्लम है. सॉरी, आई डोंट हैव द टाइम, प्लीज गेट लॉस्ट. So you
Sir,
can
I
get
do
two
it.
extreme responses, right? No, I'm not saying you're wrong. What I'm trying
Yeah.
to say is customer हर किस्म के आते हैं,
जी
हमें उनसे डील करना है, right? You may get a good customer who will be open, positive. The other customer get lost. यार मैं चैरिटी करने बैठा हूँ, मेरे को अपना काम करना है, बॉस ने. Yes, Mr. Vasu.
Sir, I hear your answer. Some of more customers.
Yes. Customer, see, customer is king, boss. He's the boss. Don't mess around with the customer. So see, if, anybody else, sorry, anybody else, please. The floor is open. Anybody. And there's no right or
May I
wrong.
contribute, sir?
Please, sir, please.
Yeah. So in case of what you rightly said, I mean, the customer के मन बना लिया कि मैं आपका product नहीं इस्तेमाल करूँगा.
Correct.
Right. So there could be two reasons. Number one,
Right.
he knows the product, our product as well,
Right.
in a best way.
Right.
Number one, or he doesn't know anything about our product.
Yes.
So then I will go a step below.
Right.
Initially, I said that I will try to sell one.
Right.
But then in such cases, such extreme approach customers, I would rather say that at least give me a chance to demonstrate my product.
Right.
Against the product that is there in your mind.
Right.
So that will educate the customer and then make him informed and then take an informed choice.
Very good. Very good again, Satyanji. Thank you so much. So again, two answers. Good customer. Satyanji, I think जो आप बोल रहे हैं make sense. चलिए एक बार देख लेते हैं. चलिए. Come tomorrow 3 p.m. and we'll see. And the good customer actually, sees a demo. Yeah, have a bad customer. सर आपका प्रोडक्ट मैं जानता हूँ, आप रहने दीजिए, आप यहाँ बेकार मेरा टाइम जाया कर रहे हैं, वेस्टिंग माय टाइम, प्लीज गो. राइट. So what I'm so you are absolutely right, Satyanji. In some situations it will work, it will not work. So there's no right or wrong, but a very good way, an actual demo always helps. So I was reading this case study about Tupperware. Tupperware, when they launched, I think in 1946. Let me read the page. उसमें Tupperware का case study है. It was not selling because they were selling through the retail markets in the US. अब बाजार में वहां पे उससे आधे दाम पे अगर प्रोडक्ट मिल रहा है, why will I buy Tupperware? Because nobody was demonstrating how tightly seal packed the Tupperware plastic was, virgin plastic, better quality, how tightly packed. That's how they went into the demonstration mode through Tupperware parties. So you're absolutely right, Satyanji. I can connect now to the Tupperware case. All of you would have heard of Tupperware as a brand, right? They do these demo sessions because product expensive hai. But as you rightly said, demo se, हाँ यार, I have been using. My wife was amongst the first in the country to be appointed as a Tupperware ambassador way back, I think 90, before the elder one was born. So that was, I think, 97, 98. I don't remember, in Calcutta, amongst the top 30 in the country. सो इट वाज ऑल कि बहुत महंगा लगता था, बट जब आपने देखा, जब उन्होंने डेमो दिया, दही पानी कुछ नहीं गिरता है, इट इज सील पैक एंड सेफ एंड हाइजीनिक एंड यू कैन यूज इट फॉर अ लॉन्गर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. सो फिर क्या हुआ, मेरा ROI, कमिंग टू नंबर्स, मैंने एक टपरवेयर का डब्बा खरीदा 300 रुपए में. आई वुड हैव बॉट 3 ऑफ द नॉर्मल वन, 100 रुपीज ईच. यार तो मेरा लॉस हो गया. बट द टपरवेयर बॉक्स outlasted competition by more than 3 times. जो 100 रुपए का डिब्बा था, मेरे को 3 महीने चलता था, तो 3 डिब्बे 3 9 महीने चले. टपरवेयर मेरे को 1 साल मिनिमम चला. इनफैक्ट इट रन्स far more even today, right? They say quality this that, but even then it's a very good product, right? So that's the way. And so coming back to, yes, demo is one very good way. Do a demo of your product. Yes, very good. Anything else? Anybody? Sharma sir, we are ending the clock at 1 hour 30 minutes sharp. Do we need to close?
I mean, you can take your time. That's not an issue.
ठीक.
That's normally our time, but
ठीक है. Few more minutes, sir, with your permission.
Sure.
With your permission, sir, few more minutes.
Always.
So see, there are various ways. So अगर customer इतना अड़ रहा है, the customer is so stubborn, तो कुछ तो बात है, right? अगर customer अड़ रहा है, try to find out from others. Try to actually talk to others कि बस ये customer क्यों अड़ रहा है, क्या बात है? There's something. ऐसा तो नहीं, and it does happen in sales. जो उसका competitor है उसको commission देता है, cut होता है. right? That also happens in trade all the time, right? That's difficult to tackle. Always be ethical. Never deal in that. Never ever. Never do that. Okay? And that's a different story. Otherwise, kuch to wajah. Maybe 5 years ago, your product created some problem for that customer. Usko bahut jhaad padi. He got a scolding. He got whatever admonishing note and from his top person. So वो बात आपको पता नहीं because all those people have left. So try to find out why is the customer so stubborn? Why isn't he or she absolutely interested in my product? Right? You have to. So and there's no right or wrong answer again. If you can get to know, maybe you can get to know from the market. अरे यार वो अपनी केस नहीं सुना है 7 साल पहले वो उनकी क्या हवा टाइट हुई थी वो उनका प्रोडक्ट वहां पे you never know. Try to find out the sources, right? Maybe he's not the he's just been told abhi unko bhaga do nikal do ya unko mana kar do, right? Maybe that's the reason. So there are various ways, Mr. R. Vasu, and there's no right or wrong answer. All answers could be right, all answers could be wrong. I love to go on the sales call with you, by the way. I still have sales in my blood. तभी आपके साथ चलेंगे. Which product or what do you sell, sir?
In pump, sir.
चलेंगे सर आपके साथ एक बार मार्केट में. I'd like to relive the old times. मजा आएगा.
Sir, I have a question.
पूछिए सर.
So, see, we are talking about being optimistic during the sales call and all that, right?
Okay. Yes.
But there has to be some, there are some customers where we have to take a call that this guy is difficult to crack.
Correct.
So what are the clues where, you don't waste more time on an unnecessary sale call and focus on a positive sale call? So what are the clues or the right time?
So, sir, like this example itself was a clue that this customer is so difficult. Jo Vasu saab bata rahe the, he's been trying over few calls. I don't know. Customer is very difficult to break. So that gives a clue कि कुछ तो है. Let's not waste time. Give it a break. Give it a break for some time. Let's not visit this customer for the next 1, 2, 3 months or 1, 2, 3 weeks. Depends on the beat, etc. I don't know. थोड़ा time देते हैं. 3 महीने बाद आते हैं. You're right. Then the customer, while he's engaging with you, अच्छा है सब कुछ अच्छा हाँ जी everything, but the customer is not closing the call, right? Then after 1, 2, 3 meetings, when you realize कि यार customer ultimately is not buying, you can, in the meanwhile, if you've done your homework well, you've found out who are the other people who are decision makers, क्या बात है. ऐसा तो नहीं कि इनको डिसीजन मेकिंग अथॉरिटी नहीं और इनके बॉस छुट्टी पे हैं, इनके बॉस ने भी बोला है अगले सीजन में देखना या 2 महीने बाद देखेंगे, वो हो सकता है, राइट? So if in 2, 3 calls, if you've been smart enough, after the meeting you need not leave the place immediately. थोड़ा इधर उधर गए, वॉशरूम हाथ मुंह धोया, इधर उधर किसी से बात हुई, पता चला, कुछ समझ में आया. If eyes and ears are open, you may come to know कि यार यहाँ पे no need of waste my time. After 3, 4 calls, you can also be direct to the customer कि sir, sorry, is there anything that I think I'm missing out, sir? मैंने आपका 4 मीटिंग का समय लिया, sir. You have spared so much of your valuable time for me, sir. And first I must thank you for that. But sir, somehow I think there's something that I'm missing. Sir, वो क्या चीज है? Somehow I'm being unable to convince. You are not willing to buy my product or service. You can be direct enough because after 3, 4 meetings, I think वो comfort, I think should have come, hopefully, आ गया होगा. You can ask the customer. You can always ask. And that answer hopefully will give you a clue. It may not always. He may still say कि सर नहीं सर अभी और थोड़ा देखते हैं वगैरह. Maybe he's just tarkawing you. He's just trying to buy time. या maybe he may say कि सर है तो सब ठीक लेकिन हमारे बॉस नहीं लेंगे. क्यों नहीं लेंगे सर? आप बताइए सर, हम जो होगा आप ही हमारे बॉस है सर, आप बताइए. नेवर ट्राई टू साइड स्टेप. सर आपके बॉस से मिल ले. नो, देन यू आर हर्टिंग हिज ईगो. ठीक है? So the various ways, Satyanji, the various ways. Yeah, we can always discuss it later also. We can always discuss. It's always a subject, which can be discussed at no length. Let me come back to, okay, I don't know if the last point is visible. Sir. Yeah, no, most welcome, sir. Last point, like payback. Payback to the society all the time. We are all lucky, हम लोग जितने लोग यहाँ बैठे हैं, हमें आपको अगला खाने की, अगला मील, अगला छत घर के ऊपर है, हमें सोचना नहीं पड़ता है, right? Think of those people in the country who don't have a square meal a day, जिनको पीने का पानी आसानी से नहीं मिलता है. So while we all do it consciously or unconsciously, हम लोग सब अपनी तरफ से करते हैं, but consciously I will request, do pay back to the society any which ways that you can. आपको जैसे खुशी मिलती है, श्रमदान करें, give time. Not only money, money is the easiest thing. हमारा guilt कम हो जाता है, पैसे donate किए. Try to give time if you can. Go with the family. Yeah. These are some of the takeaways, sir and ladies, for today. And after this, I think some thanks and acknowledgements. I've tried to write down as many names, otherwise I shouldn't miss. Firstly, Sharma sir, to you, sir. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. Yeah. And along with you, I have mentioned Miss Lakshmi Gupta. I have missed out Miss Supriya Patadiyukuli. I'm sorry. Then
Okay.
of course, Dr. Srinivasan Iyengar. He's my friend now. He's a director at JBIMS, a very good friend now. Dr. Kavita Lagate, she's been here on the call. Thank you so much, ma'am, for giving me this opportunity. Shainesh, who's my batchmate, who's a professor of marketing at IIM Bangalore, whose book I've referred to. Dr. Uma Narayan, who has taught my elder daughter at NMIMS JD Solar School of Liberal Arts at NMIMS. She was the founder dean there. She's a Fulbright scholar 3 times over. Lakshmi Gupta ji, to you, my teachers. I'm still in touch with some of my school teachers, by the way, my family, my friends, and all of you. Thank you so much, all of you. It's been a pleasure, to talk to all of you. And my contact details, in case you're interested to get in touch with me, that's my phone number and that's my email ID. You're most welcome to get in touch with me anytime. I may not be able to respond to every call if somebody calls, if I'm in a meeting. So send me a message, send me a WhatsApp, same number, 8879662788. And that's my email ID.
So thank you very much, Ajay ji, for a very interesting and practical session for a sales call. If there are any questions from the audience, we welcome them. Anybody can raise, unmute, and ask the question. That will be, always welcome. Because I think Mr. Ajay was taking questions in between, so possibly people have got answers to their questions, and we appreciate that. Ajay ji has been very kind enough to make the session very interactive also, I will say, which helped the participants. So Mr. Ajay, thank you very much for your very insightful session. I will say, for a very, common thing which we do on a day-to-day basis, but we forget to look into some of the details, And I thank our past president, Dr. Kavita Lagate, who came in between, our senior colleague, Mr. Indranil Ghosh, who joined, as well as our office staff, Angela, Lakshmi, Supriya, and Deepa. So thank you very much for a nice session. We look forward to meeting all of you, in our forthcoming sessions every Friday at 6 o'clock. Normally, that's the time when we meet. So, Ajay ji, let's remain in contact, and
definitely,
look
sir.
forward to hearing you again in some physical session, because now 100%. We are moving to the hybrid models, and some of the sessions,
yes, sir.
Physically mode also, and we do MDPs in our office, so our office staff will be in touch with you.
Absolutely,
thank you very
sir.
much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Ugly sales calls are physical hogi. I'll be the seller, you'll be the buyer, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Sure,
Such a pleasure. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate that.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for conducting.
I'm logging off. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye.